Hey everybody, it's Christina Holloway here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to manage a performance review conversation with your boss. We're going to talk about 4 questions you need to ask yourself before you even get into that meeting. This will help you prepare for the good, the bad, and the unexpected. Real quick, if you enjoy this content and want to learn more about how to succeed in your career, make sure to follow my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video from me. All right, so let's dive in. Number 1, how should you prepare for this meeting? Good question. We're going to go deep here. This sets you up for success for the rest of your meeting if you prepare really well in the beginning. Now, many times we'll take the position of feeling like this kind of meeting is for your manager to lead the meeting and you're just there to sit there and hear what your boss has to say. We tend to put ourselves in receiving mode, which is a passive way to show up for a meeting, especially one that completely revolves around you. So the first thing we want to do is prepare ourselves to be an active participant in this meeting. When I was just getting started, that's what I did. I walked into the meeting, listened to what they had to say, took the information along with any raise information, and walked out of the meeting. Done. So I'm challenging you, even if you're just starting out, to try to be more active in the meeting. That means preparing your own review. To prepare for that conversation, you're going to start the meeting by saying something like this as soon as you can. These are the metrics by which I'd like to measure my accomplishments. When you say that, you want to focus on one thing: soft skills. I'd like to focus on my executive presence and my professional communication skills. Why? Because these are the areas where you can show improvement, you can ask for feedback, you can track progress, and you can continue to develop these skills as you move closer to asking for a promotion. These areas are directly related to developing strategic thinking and building important professional relationships. This is what's going to matter when you get ready for the next level. Your boss is going to focus on how you were a team player, how you led projects to completion, and how you learned technical skills that made you a valuable member of the team. All good things, but learning how to do the technical aspects of your job, like the execution and delivery of projects, makes you a good employee. It doesn't necessarily set you apart as a prime candidate for moving up. Number 2, how should you discuss your wins? There's 2 scenarios to consider here: how to respond when your boss talks about your wins, and how to add wins that you think should be included. When it comes to your boss mentioning your wins, they again might talk about your delivery, your project planning, or contributions to the team. It's here again where you want to point out the soft skills. Where are you building trust? Where are you having influence? What new relationships developed on these projects that will be helpful to the team? Where have you developed your authority in a specific area? How are you using that authority to continue to develop your projects and deliverables? Outline these wins, elaborate on how they contribute to the success of the team or the department. Make sure your boss sees you for more than just the tactical contributions of your project assignments. Again, you're trying to build yourself and your reputation into someone who's ready for something more. Number 3, how should you handle any surprises? Try to buy yourself time. Let's say you worked on a great project and the feedback comes from a stakeholder who says that you could have done better work. I had a client last year who would tell me that she worked on a project as a junior person. She'd get through the whole project, and at her review months later, she'd find out that the stakeholder would share crappy feedback on her performance to her boss. And never once did he take the time to talk to her in the moment so she could correct any problems. It was petty, it was rude, and it was disrespectful. So if you're facing this kind of crappy behavior and it shows up on your performance review, you can address it by pointing out that as a professional, you expect stakeholders to give in-the-moment feedback to help your performance instead of setting you up to fail. You can also point out that feedback shared with you weeks or months after a project has ended is not helpful. Now, this advice is intended to help you feel like you're taking control of the narrative here. After that, you want to ask, how can you correct this situation so that it doesn't impact any plans you have for a promotion? In that case, see if you can ask to be put on a project with a different stakeholder and ask that you be evaluated by that person. The strategy being that if you work with a different person, that stakeholder will give you different or better feedback or point out that any concerns were unfounded. And your boss should help set you up for success. That negative feedback should only be a building block to setting you up for a win later. By the way, my client's boss never believed any of that crappy feedback, and she ended up getting promoted a year later. Number 4, how much detail should you share? Go in with a plan and stay inside that outline. And at every performance review, bring out that plan and make sure that any feedback you receive and any wins you discuss contribute to that plan outlined for yourself. The best way to create a plan is to prepare a 30, 60, 90-day career development plan. Here's how it looks. A 90-day plan covers 3 months. At that time, you want to spend the first 30 days understanding and developing your systems and protocols, spend the next 30 days understanding and communicating your goals and objectives, and then spend the next 30 days developing and communicating your strategy and expectations. Each quarter, review the plan with your boss. At 6 months, focus on mastery of your position. At 9 months, work on professional relationships. And at 12 months, work on developing your influence, strengths, and authority, and work on strategy. Make adjustments. Stay on top of feedback and conversations that help you develop your presence. Again, it's not just the achievements that will help you get ahead. It's the way you show up and build relationships. It's the way you collect wins and start to develop trust with others, including your boss, especially your boss. All right, so that's it for how to manage a performance review conversation with your boss. Let me know down below in the comments if you had a performance review with your manager that didn't go as planned and how you handled it. Feel free to share the good, the bad, and the unexpected. I'd love to hear your experiences. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up by hitting that like button, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you never miss another video from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.